Today we're making clay picture frames, and you need a ball of clay, a little cup of water, you need a tracing cup, which is a Dixie cup, a cutting tool, which we're also going to use to poke holes through our project, and a bunch of different clay modeling tools that we can use to make different designs. And you can also use rolling pins, but you can probably get by with just using your hands because this clay is so soft. We are using air dry clay, which means it doesn't need to go back into the kiln. It's very sticky. It will get a lot on your hands, and if we work just directly on the table, it will stick and it will not come off. So it's very important that we're working either on safety paper or that we have a piece of canvas down underneath so that we can get it back off the table when we're all done. Otherwise it'll be stuck, and the only way we'll be able to get it off is by taking our fingernails and scraping it off. So you're going to take your ball of clay and you're going to flatten it out. You don't want to over flatten it. And like I said, you can use the rolling pin. And when I say over flatten, we don't want to overdo it so that it gets too thin this way. And we can kind of use the same rules that we use with regular clay that goes into the kiln that we've used the other years, that we don't want it to be any thinner than the width of our pinky. So when we set it there, if it gets too thin in some places, it can crack. So we need to be really careful of that we don't get too carried away. But we're going to make a slab of clay, which is a flat pancake of clay. And it doesn't really matter the outside shape just yet. And I'm going to take this cup and I'm going to take the top of it and just press it in there just a little bit to make a mark. If I press it too far, it's going to stick to the cup and I'll never get the cup off without ruining the nice slab that I already have. So now you're going to trace around and actually cut this out now, all the way around. And I'm going to pull that out of there just like a cookie cutter. And now I'm going to smooth around. Now it's kind of getting a little bit sticky on my fingers, and that's the nice thing about this is that we don't need slip. We can just use water, and the water, although we don't want to overdo it, will help us smooth out any little bumps that are in our clay. So this is going to be the hole where we're going to put our picture of ourselves in. All the way around the border, it's a little boring. And so I can use my tool now, or I can use a modeling tool that has kind of a sharper, a little bit knife shape end on it, and I can cut out a design all the way around the edges. And I'm just going to keep that clay over there. And we don't want to get too close to this space here. We want to leave I'd say 2 finger widths. If we get too much further than that, it could crack there too. So we got to be careful with this, but we're going to cut a design all the way around the edges.